kind of.
And there we go.
Here
Hello,
it is.
everybody. Welcome to the show. Jamie had another something he had to take care of today. He'll probably be around in the side chat maybe a little bit later. So we're going to hold down the fort here while he's away. I want to welcome everybody to the chat tonight. We're going to talk about 40 and 41 calibers, and we'll first go around the room and see how everybody's week was. Billy, how was your week? Maybe
Apparently, it was really good. He's still asleep.
We'll go over to 6.
All right. Well, my week was pretty good. Just another typical week of working as a machinist. So that's all I've done this week. Just been good, nice weather here. So hopefully tomorrow I can get some stuff done outside.
Another week of making shavings.
Good deal. Your seasons are over?
Yeah, all my stuff's over with. I did go pick up my deer head today. So.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah,
That was quick.
I guess.
It's just skull mount. It's just, it don't take nothing. Boil it in a pot of water.
Yep. Yep. Our guys are always so busy. It's a good 2 months, 2 to 3 months for a European mount. But they got hundreds of deer. The guy I go to, he's really well liked, and he's a big outfit.
Yeah.
But that guy there was almost a full year to get him back, and that's pretty good for him. He's gone more than that. I'm a favorite customer, I guess. Wow. Rebel, how was your week?
Snowed, ice, dealt with that all week, and we were closed an extra day, closed on Tuesday. And of course, North Carolina, Kyle can attest to this, in Georgia, for just a dusting on the ground disrupts business, run out of propane, bread, milk, eggs, la. And
yeah.
So we've had to deal with all that crap, and so get back to work and had a couple of really slow days, and today was shaping up to be a really good day until I heard the propane truck backing up to the tank. and we've got a little sensor on there that tells them when we're 30%,
Sure.
And they filled it up, and Danny came in there. He's my driver, and he handed me the bill. He says, "Been cold, hasn't it?" I said, Yep. He said, "All right, man." He said, "I'll see you." I thought, well, Danny didn't hang out usually like he usually does. I opened up the bill and I knew why. They let me get down to 6%.
Oh.
$907. I was like, Jesus, please, Lord. And I may call and say, look, I'm going to pay I'm a small business. I'm going to pay this in 2 installments. So, and you can like it or you can not like it. I don't care,
Well, they got to do come back to suck it back out.
Yeah, really. I know. But anyway, that was my week. I ordered a rifle for a guy. I'm getting ready to order a shotgun for a guy. So business is still doing pretty good. But Kyle, what about your week, bud?
My week has been fantastic. Work's been going good. In the process of packaging up some things to brighten some people's days with. Also in the process of loading a lot of ammo to go expel at Dead Zero coming up in a couple of months. So there's always that kind of fun. Of course, I can't show that on YouTube. But yeah, it's fun dusting off the reloading presses and just having a good time. It's all good. What's going on with you, Walter?
I had a really good week, and I hate to keep harping on this, but because I know you guys in the Northeast and
you're
the
getting a
South
sunburn.
and
I know it's 80 degrees.
we had temps all week between high 70s and mid 80s, cloudless skies, clear mornings, full moon, just unbelievable weather. It's way better than summer weather, and we haven't had January weather like this in a long, long time. We've had it before, but it's been unbelievable. So I got to the range a couple times this week. I didn't do any casting because I'm money ahead on the casting. I don't need to cast for a while. I need to breathe a few for about another 6 months before I heat the pot up again. I got so much lead sitting on the shelf ready to rock and roll that I need to get with that. But I did get some loading done. I got half a dozen videos put out this week. The one that I did yesterday on pan lubing got a lot of attention really quick. I was kind of surprised at that number of folks had not seen that done before. So, and it'd been a long time since I did it. It's kind of apparent if you watch that video. But anyway, that was kind of fun. And let's see what else. Catherine, my lady friend, and I took a drive up Highway 1 along the California coast Wednesday to one of our favorite little restaurants, about 100 miles up the coast, up in the Big Sur area. Absolutely just unbelievable. The Pacific Ocean was living up to its name. Looked like a big flat lake out there, no wind, just flowers are blooming, the birds were singing. Yeah.
I'm sure it was a beautiful drive too.
It just incredible.
Walter, I'm giving you the little finger, not the middle finger. All right.
Take it back. Just think California politics and then take that right back.
Yeah, I know.
It's an even swap, boys.
It's an even swap. Actually, you can give me the big finger. So yeah.
I don't know. It's probably a close call with the nod going to any place else but California. My town right here is actually a fair-sized community. We've got 100,000 people here, but it's agricultural based. So the immigrants we have here work.
Yeah,
and they produce, and we don't have the issues that are. They're doing their people in the street crap again right now, and so is Sacramento and San Francisco. Those are our blue en masse blue areas of the state. The rest of our state, whole Central Valley, it's all ag. It's all cowboys and farmers. It's just those big populated cities that are calling the shots, unfortunately. So, but I did have a great week, and we got more coming up next week. So, how about you, CW? What do you got going on, man?
We're gonna walk over to Mike and let Mike tell us.
Oh, Mike's here. Okay, yeah, Mike jumped in.
You got to turn your speaker on there, feller.
Oh no.
What?
Okay, let me unmute first. Anyway, I said sorry about that. Right before the show was fixing to start, my wife called me and she's just getting off work, so I went ahead and answered to make sure she didn't need anything. But yeah, this week's been looking a lot better. We've had today's second day in a row, I believe, that we've been above freezing, and the snow's melting away and sun's shining. So, man, God is good. And hopefully we get back out to the firing range and get some videos made. But yeah, that's about what's going for me. How about you, CW?
Oh, I'm jonesing bad for the range. I was over 3 times because I'm working on some other stuff, some safety stuff, and there's 8 to 12 inches on the covered firing line. There's 3 to 4 feet drifts out there at the bunks, at the butts. I could shovel off the firing line and get a bench, but this old man can't walk out there with one leg and walk through that kind of snow. Forget it. I won't be on the range. It'll probably be at least a couple weeks. We've got this past week wasn't awful. The mornings were still cold. It was still 0 or thereabouts, but it warmed to the upper 20s with pretty nice days. Wind wasn't too bad, but it's still not even to freezing. We might have hit 32 or 34 degrees 1 or 2 days. Today was upper 20s. And tomorrow is, again, as last Saturday, forecast to be the coldest day of the year. They're calling for negative numbers.
Wow.
And winds to 45 miles an hour. So that's
That's
going to
what
put wind chills 30 below.
Wow.
we're getting 50-mile-an-hour winds, but not
So-
that temperature. What
It's
me
gonna
and
be-
That's awful.
CW and I were trading temperatures back and forth. He was showing me pictures of his thermometer. I was like, I don't know if there's a difference between 1 degree and -9 or
I
whatever.
tell you, I
It's
could
all
really
cold.
feel it. I was going out every morning about 7 a.m. and checking my temperature. And the worst I had was, I don't know, it was a 9 below, I think.
I think that's what you
And
sent
then
me.
the best was, I think, 9. 8 or 9 was the best. And you could definitely feel a difference. It was definitely different.
We've been pretty good here. I mean, we were at like 58 degrees here today.
Mm.
We
So all
had,
that snow and ice that we got is gone, of course. Of course, it didn't do anything. Weather Channel just drummed it all up.
we had 82 today.
I'm still dealing with it because we got like 10 inches of snow here.
Yeah,
We've
we
probably
did.
got about 10 inches now, but it hasn't melted at all. It's just compacted. It's come from like 2.5 feet down to, a
Yeah.
foot, and then so it's all right there. It just compacted.
It's slidey in those temperatures. Yeah.
So it's no range for me for quite a while. But I did make a couple videos. I think I made two yesterday. I split one topic up into 2 videos, and I got a couple other things on the bench that I did. So I'm still making videos, just not as frequent. And but I'm all the way out into March. I'm in the middle of March, so
Yeah.
I got plenty of videos made and waiting.
Yeah, a couple good ones up there today on that our CBS.
Yeah,
Cool.
those are
Yeah.
going to post to YouTube in middle of March. But I posted them up on Rumble. They're up on Rumble already. So yeah, that's that. Upcoming week is going to be, I think, teens. I don't even think it's going to be 20 for the next like 4 or 5 days here, and then after Valentine's Day, after next Saturday, they're saying it's supposed to moderate up into the 30s and low 40s, which will be awesome. And we'll see. Then we'll see some melting, and I can think maybe in a week of that I'll be able to get on the range, and then we'll have mud.
Yeah.
That's what we got here is a bunch of mud.
Yeah, then we'll have mud. But yeah, that's New England. That's most of the East Coast. So anyway, we're going to talk about 40 caliber, which includes 10 millimeter, the original 10 millimeter, and 41 caliber cartridges tonight. Rifles, pistols, handguns. What do we got? What do you like? All that good stuff. 40 and 10 has been a popular thing for me. I've liked it for quite a while. I picked up on 10 pretty much as soon as it came out. 41 mag is kind of special. It's as old as I am, so it's a special cartridge.
Mhm.
I really liked it for a long time, and it's kind of the redheaded stepchild cartridge of the Magnums. That it always gets forgotten, but it does a really good job. It's a nice cartridge.
I love it.
And, I think you've recently got into it too, Walter. Right? It's new to you.
Yeah, only a couple years worth.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it
I like it.
it came to be as a police cartridge, a little more powerful, little bigger bore, a little less powerful, and it kind of died on the vine. It just kind of withered and died.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it
even really as
never went
popular as the
anywhere.
40 was when the 40 came to be. 40 had a really good showing after the shootings there in California, and then all of a sudden it was too big a caliber and nobody could shoot it, and it's now going by the wayside. I don't think it'll go away. It's there's too many guns out there.
Yeah,
Too many
too
people
many
like
guns
it.
out there with
But
it.
the FBI dropped it. A lot of police departments dropped it. So it fell out of favor, and the 9 is really shining. So
It's not going away in my house. I can tell you that.
no, here
I
have quite a few.
know. The FBI. This may be cringe, but I'd still like to shoot one. They converted a lot of old Tommy guns to 10 millimeter, and just absolutely made me cringe. I was like, why not leave them at 45?
Yeah.
But I get it. They went to 10 millimeter, but from what I understand, it's the same as the North Carolina Highway Patrol going with 357 SIG, and now they're all the way back down to 9 again. Because if you've got a young lady that's aspiring to be a state trooper, what's she going to shoot better, a 9 or a 357 SIG? And what's a grown ass man in combat to stay on target going to shoot better, a 9 or a 10 millimeter or a 357 SIG? Well, he's going to shoot the 9, and it stops people enough.
Well, you also got to take into account the 45 gap.
Yeah, that pretty much died, didn't it?
Yeah, no law enforcement. I absolutely cussed when that came out because I was a brass hound for a while, and you pick up a 45 gap or the small pistol primer 45.
But you know why it came out, right?
Yeah, to advertise a Glock.
Well, no, it was because let's just face it, ladies have smaller hands than men,
Right?
and they wanted to give them some stopping power, but they couldn't hold a full size Glock,
right?
in 45, so they came out with this 45 gap, and I've shot one once, and nope, not a fan.
No,
I just didn't like it. But I know why it's there. I mean, every cartridge has its own purpose. So,
well, there's another one back on topic. There's another one, the 41 Action Express.
Yeah,
was
that competed directly with the 40 Smith & Wesson. Yeah,
and there's a couple of Wildcats in there too. There's a 400 Corbon, and there's a 40 Super. So there's a couple of other Wildcat wild cards mixed in there that never really saw a lot of popularity, but they exist. They're out there.
Well, I instantly loved 40 cal as soon as I shot one. I bought a M&P 40 and shot it. I was like, oh, this is nice. It's not too zippy. It's good. And then I bought another one. Then I bought an M&P Shield. And then I bought another M&P. And then I bought another Glock. And I just love the 40 cal. It's a heck of a thumper, and you can really tweak that load if you reload. So
I was 45 from the start, and then Colt come out with that officer's model, and I had to have one of those. I bought one of those when they first came out, and 45, and then the 40 came out. And what was that? 80, 86, 87, thereabouts. Trying to think of the dates. It was about then.
It was about then, yeah. Our department went to them and tried them. Troops couldn't handle them.
Yeah. And I remember when it came out, much like the little 357 SIG, duplicated the 357 in short barrels. The 40 did what the 45 advertised to do, is the way I like to explain it. The 45 was always said to be a 185 at about 1,000, and in reality, it was really closer to 900.
right.
Where the 180 40s were an honest 1,000 at the time. So almost the diameter, but did the velocity. And at the time, they'd fit in 9mm sized guns with a lot more fire, with a lot more energy and power, and have a bullet weight. And at the time, it was a different theology. 9 was a mouse gun back then. 9 was not anything like it is today. It was nobody carried a 9. People carried 38s, 357 revolvers, and the 40.
Well,
we're just getting into auto.
Factory 9mm loads right now used to be 9mm plus P, 20 years ago. And now it's just standard loads. So, I mean, everything always evolves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, everybody's quick to talk about powder powder advancements and bullet advancements. Well, my answer to that was those benefit every cartridge. So that levels the playing field. That doesn't really advance any one cartridge. Everybody benefits from that.
Well, didn't the FBI at one time think about going to the 10 millimeter, but then some of them said it kicked too hard or something? Or
It was, and it was the same thing with the 41. The 41 mag was designed and built as a police cartridge back with revolvers, and it turned out that it was pretty powerful. So they load it down almost like a heavy special would be, if there was such a thing. There is now, but back then as a 41 special, and it was 900 grain bullet, about 1,000 feet per second. And what's a 40 Smith and Wesson? So it's everything old is new again. It just had different names and different flavors, and so the 10 millimeter was what the FBI was going to use, and they pretty much right away had those kind of problems they're talking about now with the 40. And they went with the 40 because it could do what a light 10 millimeter could do in a gun that more people could handle.
yeah, I just remember that young girl, Autumn's Armory or whatever.
Yeah,
She's young. She's advanced. She goes,
she's got a nice
FBI says the 10 millimeter's too powerful. She's got one in each hand. Bam, 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 bam. I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's all about training.
Yeah.
So that's it's a shame. I really enjoy the 40. I have quite a few of them. I still like the 45 better, but I enjoy the 40 and I enjoy the 10 millimeter. I just posted a video from about 2 months ago when I was shooting it. I'd didn't realize that I hadn't posted the footage for an Olight that I got, and then a Timney trigger that I put in because of this guy down here. And, the gun shot great. I had no problems at all. So I was really happy with that. That's my Glock 40, the long slide 10 millimeter,
Mhm.
and it worked really well with those heavy loads. I had no problems at all.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of firearms in those calibers. I've got 2 in 40 short and weak and 2 in 10 millimeter. And truth be told, I actually kind of like shooting the 10 millimeters better. I've been doing too much Magnum stuff this last couple weeks, man. I put 50 rounds through one of my 41 mags last week, and I paid for that all week long. It's just now I got arthritis to start with, and after all of these years of living with it, you'd think I'd learned by now not to do that kind of thing. But you get to the range and you got some rounds that are going good, and you think, oh man, I only got like 35 more. Let's get rid of them. Oh boy. But I've got a Glock 35 in 40.
That's one of my favorite
Timney
Glocks
trigger
too.
in it. Yeah, with the Timney trigger on it, and there aren't all that many Glock people in this crowd, but there's a few of us. If you buy a new Glock, the triggers suck. They're just awful. They got a whole bunch of take up and a whole bunch of creep, and they're 8 pounds or some daggum thing like that. That Timney trigger turns them down to a 3-pound trigger pull, and then all of a sudden you're not going kabang, and then it's over there in left field someplace. That was all my issue. So I put those Timneys in all my Glocks now have them. And then I just relatively recently got a hold of a Glock 20 in 10 millimeter, and it was the worst of all the Glocks that I'd ever owned previous to that, as far as shootability and trigger pull. Until I and you guys might have seen it. I call it the Franken Glock now because it's got so many extra parts in it. But I got an extended barrel in it. I put a 6-inch KKM barrel in it, and that Timney trigger and a couple other parts. And man, that thing's a shooter now. Let me tell you what, it will really shoot.
I love that gun. I mean, it looks like you knew what you were looking for when you started working on it.
It was, and it's actually fun to shoot. And the only other 10 that I have is the Kimber Eclipse in 10 millimeter. It's a nice enough gun, but it throws my brass forward to where I can't get it. And the Glock 20 throws
Throws
it
it
out
back.
yeah, off to the 5 o'clock point back there, and I can recover a 10 millimeter brass. Hard to find at the range. Not many people shoot it. And that thing goes off, and they see your hand going, boom, to boom, to boom. What is that? That looks like a Glock. What is that? That's not 9 millimeter. I say, no, not hardly. What's that stinking extra inch and a half of barrel out there? So let me show you this. And yeah,
Walter's the trigger bad on the V or the 6, the Gen 6, both.
oh, the trigger pull itself.
Yeah, when you said the new Glocks, I assumed you were talking about the
Oh,
V
yeah.
series.
No. We don't get no stinking Glocks in California at all
Oh, okay,
anymore.
gotcha.
And the best we could get was the Gen 3, which is what all my Glocks are Gen 3s. That's the most we
Gotcha.
could ever get. And now California's banned them all. So that mine's a Gen 3, not a V. And the trigger pull, I measured it when I got that Glock 20 was 8 pounds plus.
God almighty.
And yeah, it was maxing out both my trigger gauges.
Mm.
The Wilson and the Lyman, it maxed them both out.
And just to think, it's just a few years ago, they came out with the Glock 19X, which I thought was probably the best Glock I ever felt in my life. And I kept it mostly factory because I carry it, and but it has a nice trigger pull. But
I think they've got a couple. They got that New York trigger. It's like 8-10 pounds. It's supposed to be 5, but it's always heavy.
does while
I never
we're
had a
talking,
bad one, really. I mean, they're Glock triggers. None of them are great, but I've never had one that was awful. I never had a Glock that was inaccurate either. I picked up one old first generation police buyback, first generation Glock 22, and that was the worst one that I had, and it was twice the group size as any other Glock, but I scrubbed the barrel and it came right back. So it was just shot a lot and not cleaned.
I have shot some Glocks that I was more accurate throwing the gun than I was shooting.
yeah. Well, that was me. Pretty
We
much
used to have
everyone that I
ranges
started with.
at 2 of the shops I was in, and I was in charge of a range on one of them. And I was always the guy they called. Everybody would complain, and they would call Brian. I'd get over the intercom. I'd meet the customer, go up there, and the customer would come back with his head hung low because I shot a knot hole with their gun that wouldn't shoot.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it when I hear how bad they shoot, because I've probably shot 100 different Glocks, probably more, but I'll be conservative.
Yep.
And never once have I had one that was inaccurate.
yeah, they're ugly. They're ugly.
People can't shoot. It's usually not the
They're
gun.
they're ugly
I like
cinder
this.
blocks, but they shoot.
I like the
Yeah.
sights on. I like this. I like the factory Glock sights. A lot of guys don't, but they're easy for me to pick up. The 3-point white dots. 2 in the back and 1 in the front.
I just
They're
don't
easy
like the
for
plastic.
my eyes to see in the afternoon shadows or whatever. I can see those sights really well.
I've got a Glock 19 clone that built by a local manufacturer. It's got an extended barrel on it, and I was thinking about putting a screw-on comp on it. It's a 9mm, so a little off topic, but anybody on this ever go with a comp on a Glock and a screw on, not a clamp on? So it's got a threaded barrel.
I bought
And
a ported barrel for 110 millimeter. First of all, I'd never ever had one for carry, but for screwing around, it kept the muzzle down a little bit. But that 10 millimeter is different.
Yeah, it's different, but I look at that gun and it's a nice looking gun, and it's a corrected grip angle, and it just got that ugly protrusion sticking out of it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pony up for a 9mm suppressor right now. So I wouldn't mind putting a comp on it, make it a little flatter shooting, like you say, CW screw around gun.
Yeah, we have a sighting there, Walter. You want to give us a countdown? Are you there?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
On 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Mario!
West Coast weirdo. Hiya,
Good to see you,
Mario.
Mario.
That should have been sufficient.
Yeah, that got her done. Good
My
to see you,
dogs
Mario.
are perked up.
Tommy had a question there. Let's see if we can find it. I saw it flash by about something we were talking about there. I don't want to ignore the side chat, and we've got to go through the side chat here pretty shortly.
Yes, we do.
Tommy, he said something
Was it
about
over my right
his
shoulder? Was that what he
19
was
was throwing
talking
brass
about?
in his face, or
Yeah.
327 Federal. Yeah, I like that one too. I don't see it here. There was one. I forgot the question. Maybe it was over the shoulder about sending cases flying.
yeah, he did say that I think he said his 19 was sending brass right to his face, which is not good at all. That's why we have safety glasses, but it still ain't good.
Yeah, my Gen 19 Gen 4 throws brass right into my forehead.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's I want mine going out there at about 4:30, where I can
Kyle,
retrieve it.
Kyle, you need to shoot at ghetto. You know,
Ghetto guy. We got those around here.
Is that because that's the way it come out of the box?
exactly.
Yeah, I live too close to Atlanta. Yep.
Yeah.
But as far as the caliber 40 Smith & Wesson, I'm a fan, and I have been for a long time. I like the caliber. A lot of, if you're a bullet caster, there's lots and lots and lots of choices for molds. There's lots of load data for it. You go to the range, and at least in my ranges, it's fairly popular. I grab a lot of 40 Smith & Wesson brass. That the non-hand loaders leave behind. There's plenty of it around, which tells me that it's still darn popular.
Yep.
And you're loading 175, well, I'll say 165 to 180 grain, maybe 200 grain bullet, which is 20 grains less than a 45 ACP on average, I'll say. So you save a little bit on the lead. You get to use a small primer instead of a large primer. I guess you can use large primers on 45 ACP too, but as Brian was saying earlier, you can load them up to 45 ACP stats pretty easily, pretty handily, and on top of all of that, you can use all your die sets and molds and whatnot for 10 millimeter as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like getting a twofer.
I guess I'm an old soul. 30 years ago, I looked at the 40 and the 41 Action Express and went, that's just a fad. Well, it lasted 30 years. And it seems to be falling off now, but I've never owned a 40. I've shot them. I've never owned a 40. I figure I'd go from 9 to 45 and 45 Colt, I never fell into it, but 40s seem to be, as they get dropped by a police department, said falling out of favor.
I think the only one I've never had is a CZ75 in 40. But I had a high power in 40. I've had a number of Smiths in 40. Rugers in 40. Glocks in 40.
I carried a M&P 40 for years. Never had a problem with it. It was always a tack driver and all that. And yeah, I mean, all your molds and dies and all that stuff, they bleed over between 10 millimeter and 40, and you can load anything you want, whatever range of weight. And it's just a good round.
Yeah.
I really like that Shorty 40. If anybody ever had a chance to shoot one of those, that was a really nice pistol from Smith. Before the shields and all those, the MPs came out.
Yeah, right.
It was a steal.
Now, what I do get a giggle out of is the guy that comes to the shop and he's talking to all his buddies, and he said, well, if I was going to Alaska to caribou hunt or salmon fish, I'd take a 10 millimeter for bear protection. I was like, make sure you save one in the magazine for yourself. Okay. Right. Because a 44 Magnum is, unless you get really, really lucky, 9 times out of 10, it's the brown bear that's looking at you and said, do you feel lucky, punk? You know,
kind of chuckle. You know, it's these same guys that'll argue that the 40's no good because of the recoil impulse will argue the 10 millimeter because of the round count over 41 mag or 454 Casull. I just kind of chuckle. You know, all of a sudden it's okay to they can handle it now because I just chuckle.
They've been reading too many guns and ammo magazines. Yeah.
And you know, besides the Glock 35, and I'm with Brian. I like that firearm. You know, you got a 5-inch. Barrel,
it's
nice
a more
long sight radius.
Oh yeah,
it really is. It's
a little bit better balance.
It makes a difference.
The Glock 34. I've got a Glock 34 in mine.
So do I.
It's a better shooting, better balanced pistol.
Both mine are good.
I've
also got a Springfield XD in 40 Smith & Wesson, the 5-inch barrel, what they used to call a XD tactical. I don't like that gun.
I don't care for the XDs really much at all. I shot a few of them. They're just not my flavor.
Yeah, they work. And my 35, I've probably got 40,000 rounds through that one now.
I was shooting a Gen 2 22, Glock 22, and I walked into a shop and they had a new Gen 4 Glock 35, and one of the guys wanted my 22, so we worked the deal. I sold it to the shop. He bought it. I bought the 35. I went to the next shoot we had, and Zev was there, and I was talking to them, and they went through my whole gun after the match, and I don't know what it cost me. It wasn't too much because it was like they wanted to do it for the shooter there, and I shot it, and what a difference. That is my all-time favorite Glock.
Yeah.
For
my 23 has a Zev trigger system in it, and it's nice.
I don't know exactly what they did. I literally handed them the gun, and I shot my backup, and I came back and I finished the match with that 35, and it's just beautiful. I won't tell you it's a 1911 trigger, but it's so smooth, it's so nice. It just points. It feels good to my hand. Everything was transformed. It was transformed. One thing I always do is I always undercut in the back of the trigger. I always undercut that. Just take a file to it. It needs it. And I always change out the sights to steel sights. That 35 has got Dawson's on it. And a steel guide rod, stainless steel guide rod or something like that.
Yep.
Those are things I always do to the Glocks. And the ones I use in competitions and I use shoot a lot, I'll put KKM barrels in. I just love it. I love the way it shoots. It shoots cast so good. It shoots everything. That little 145 bullet that I turned you on to, Walter, it shot that so good. I wore out a Lee 2-cavity mold. It wouldn't cast a straight bullet. I wore it out. I cast so many 145 grain bullets with that thing. They don't make a 6-cavity for that mold. So
no, I know, but it's a good bullet.
It's a good shoot. My PCC won't shoot it. Shoot it. It shoots softball groups. It won't shoot it. The 35 loved it. So I had to go to a 175. I went to that truncated cone, and away went the light recoil. I remember the guys when I first started shooting that, they were complaining because of how good it was shooting, and they couldn't believe I was shooting a 40 because they're all shooting powder puff 9s, and they shot my 35, and my 35 was staying on target with less recoil than their 9 millimeters.
Yeah,
and Zev kitting it. It was amazing. It was amazing, and it was a light load, but it wasn't a powder puff. You could see I could drop plates more soundly than they could. But it was the recoil impulse, the smoothness of the gun, the trigger. It was so nice. So nice.
Yeah, yeah, and it just goes to show you, if you get a Glock as a platform, there's a lot to be said for the simplicity of the design that allows you to get in and do stuff like add a trigger, add a barrel, add sights and stuff, easily. They're stupid simple to tear completely down. 3 pins and you're out. You've got everything taken apart. It's easy to get the firing pin out. Sometimes not so easy to put them back in with those stupid little collar things that they got on there. But nonetheless, they're easy to take apart and keep really clean. The slide comes off easy. All that stuff is good about Glocks. You get a lot of bad ink, I think, because I'll be the first one to admit, right out of the box, I don't like them. First thing I do is put the factory barrel back in the box from which it came and go get a aftermarket barrel that has got standard rifling in it
I was
instead
about
of
to
that.
say one with actual rifling in it.
Yeah, something that's got real rifling.
Yeah, they definitely shoot better with a better barrel. But I tell you, I switched back to the factory barrel with cast because I like to shoot fat bullets. And
Yeah,
the chambers in the KKMs that I prefer the KKM barrels. I won't say they're so tight, but they don't like even 401 bullets.
yeah.
And it just they won't reliably feed. They're too tight.
Mm-hmm.
And the jacketable is fine, but cast no. I go back to the factory, and I've shot. I can't tell you how many my cast powder coated bullets through factory Glock barrels.
Yeah. Well, that was part of their original idea. Drop your ammo in the mud and pick it back up and stick it in the magazine and load it and shoot it, and it'll probably work. That
Yep.
Glock barrel is, it'll load just about anything.
It's purpose made for that.
Yep, exactly. That's why they made it that way, and then it was a good design for that. But
All right.
I get better
Let's call
accuracy
out
out of a rifle
this
barrel.
side chat. What do we want to
let's
use
do
for what do we want to use for a word or a phrase that
Oh, let's just put 40.
Yeah.
40?
That's easy. Everyone can spell that, right?
Yeah, look at here. Here we go.
THAT. 40.
All right. We got 6-shooter detection here on the side chat and on the panel. Mr. Kyle Lusk is here on the side chat and the channel. Walter Viejo, Mike Hester, both on the side chat and on the channel. GGW Outdoors. Hello, Joe. James Pugh. Mike here on the channel and on the side chat. Walks Fletcher. Hello, Roger. Ozzy Osborne. Hello, sir. Garage Guy. Hello, Mark. Bobby Barlow. Edward Petty. Hello, mister. James Pugh again. Mr. Paul Loud. Casey Dorff. Welcome. Dwayne 7834. Hello, sir. Old One Guy. Mr. James Pollard. Crash. IWS Bull. Hello, sir. George Jones is here.
Possum.
The great possum.
Alaska Andy. Lefty Six Gun. M. Gabriel. Tim S. Mike again. James Pugh again. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Glad you could join us. All righty. So that covers a lot with the autos, but we haven't talked a whole lot about the revolvers and the 41 Magnum. There's another one that I touched on just a little bit there, and that's that 41 Special. I really think that would take off a little more. It could be such a dandy cartridge. And I was reading just last night about a guy who rebored and barreled Ruger single 6 to 41 Special. I don't know how he did it.
A single six?
Yeah.
What are you making, a 4-shot?
That to me is, I don't know how you do it. It doesn't seem like it's big enough. The cylinder doesn't seem big enough. Go to 5-shot, of course. It just doesn't seem like it's big enough. I know I've got a couple of 32s.
Strong enough.
That's
Well,
that's
41
impressive.
Special. So it's
Yeah.
not high pressure.
I'd love to have one chambered in 41 special
yeah,
instead of
would
having
be
to shoot them
strong
out of
enough.
my 41 mags. You know, you get that
Um,
carbon buildup crap to deal with.
Another one, I just got that 44 special GP. That would be a dandy in 41 special.
You telling me, buddy?
Oh my goodness.
We gotta call Ruger and say, hey, boys.
Yeah, the downfall with my gun, and anybody who reads anything is right there, and I've had probably 10 of my viewers comment, oh, you're going to split your forcing cone. The gun was designed for 357. The forcing cone is the back area of the barrel where it goes through the frame. So when you up it to 44, 429, you do make that pretty thin. And excessive firings with high pressure loads have known to crack. Smiths have the same problem with the L frame. That area of the barrel is very thin where it goes through the frame. If you were to drop that to a 410, you'd pick up quite a bit of thickness, and I would think that problem would go away.
Oh yeah.
And it would be really nice. A 5-shot 41 special. Oh, that would be a dandy.
Yeah.
That
I'd
would
have
be
it in a
a
heartbeat.
dandy.
And
And
44 special, it's been hard to come up with a 44 special, especially here in California. But when Ruger came out with they had a Lipsy's distributor exclusive with
Yeah.
a Bisley 44 special black
Yeah,
Hawk.
the short frame.
I grabbed that in a
Top-
heartbeat because that frame fits me better than the standard Black Hawk, and I've put more rounds through that since I bought it last year, I think, than all the rest of my Black Hawks put together. I love that gun. It shoots good.
Well,
44 special. You can load them
That's
up
the
tight if you
original.
want
The
to.
original Ruger 357 frame is what they consider the short frame.
Yep.
right.
And it's a good idea.
The
And I think you
44
could do that same
special,
thing in 41 special.
the 44 special was considered the best combat revolver round ever. Jelly
Yeah,
Bryce, that's what Jelly Bryce shot.
Reload. Even Elmer liked it.
Yeah. Yep.
I consider
Sure
it the
enough.
top myself. It's just a dandy.
Yeah.
It'll do everything the 45 ACP does,
Mhm.
and it'll do more.
Right.
It doesn't have the round count, but it's a revolver. So
Yeah.
get over it.
And you think about 41 mag as being, a lot of people say, well, it's halfway between the 357 and the 44 mag, and it isn't
No.
really. It's actually closer to the 44. 410 next to 429, which is what
Yeah,
44
it's
is.
really close. Yeah.
It's closer than 357 to
And some
410.
Some people argue that the 41 mag has better penetration than the 44. I've never tested that. I've read that. Don't know if it's true or not. But
Well, if
I
you
think
look,
that's all
if-
about bullet choice and powder.
If we go over to rifles
Mhm.
for a minute, the best penetrating big game, dangerous game rifles are those 411s. You look at them, and
Yeah.
those things are like, it's kind of like what the 6.5 did. What we realized the 6.5 diameter does for long range shooting. It's like magic for long range shooting. The ballistics, the bullet length, the diameter, the whole thing is just like perfect for the atmospheres we're in. Well, the 41 caliber rifle, the big game, dangerous game rifle stuff, the 411s, the 416s,
yeah.
it's a magic number for penetration and power. So
Yep.
that got to carry down into the little 41 Magnum, little in
It-
comparison to those.
Those 416s actually break bones in Cape Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's
And that's saying something.
nuts. The dimensions. I mean, the penetration.
Mhm.
It's just all out of shape for what it is. You start looking at these calibers and you go 375, the next one, all the way up to the 500s, the 600s, and it's like all of a sudden in the middle there where the 416s are, it's like way out of range for the performance for what they are. It's like they make a big jump and then you like take a step back when you come back to the 458s and the small 500s. It's like what just happened here? It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things.
And I only started shooting 41 mag just maybe 3 years ago, Mark Thomas and I both kind of started looking at the same time. I don't remember what kind of sparked it, but one of the things is that during the pandemic, when ammo of all calibers was short, you could still find 41 mag on the shelf. There's never been a whole lot of it on the shelf because not many people even know about the caliber, but it
they
was
were
still
the
there.
same amount.
It was there. And I kept thinking about that. And, I had plenty of other stuff to shoot. I was not hurting during the pandemic, but I kept thinking about that. I said, when SHTF, maybe it's a good idea to have one of those. So I started looking for one. Well, at that time, Ruger had quit making the Blackhawk in 41 mag. They had stopped production, not permanently, but just temporarily in favor of other stuff they were running. So there weren't any. And and the Smith & Wesson Model 57, which I now have also, was hard to find here in California. Anyway, Mark Thomas got his Blackhawk before I did. I was so pissed because I already had molds and I'd already cast up a bunch of bullets. I think I sent him about 300 bullets I had cast up. I said, "Here, you shoot them. I don't got nothing to shoot them in." I finally picked up the 41 mag Blackhawk, the 7.5-inch barrel, and then I got the nice Arizona custom grips, those black Magnetusk grips. Oh, they look good on that gun. I like it, and it's a fun caliber. And like we were saying earlier, you have the option of shooting a 41 special in it to go practice with that firearm, get used to your sights with a lower recoil round. And I've made some pretty accurate 41 special rounds, that shoot really well, and they're up there. Your 41 caliber cast bullet anyway is the standard is kind of 210 grains. You can shoot. There's other stuff out there, but a 200 grain bullet, and you can yank them out of that 41 special at 1,1200 feet per second pretty easily, and that's a stout round out of a 41 special, and they shoot good.
Basically, it's not a commercial round. You can't buy ammo for it. It's a hand load only. And
right?
basically,
Yeah.
Trim down your 41 mag to special length, just like 38 to 357 and 44
Starline makes the brass.
Starline does make brass for it, so it's a thing, but it's not a thing yet.
Yeah,
just like in the 50s. You got a 50, you got a 500 JRH, and the 500 Smith & Wesson. It's a short, but still, largely powerful. But the 500 JRH is a nice shooting gun and a good gun. Mm-hmm. I've shot him in the BFHs, and I've shot him in the Casull, and I'd take it any day over the 500 Smith. I don't find it, ridiculous, but it's so much nicer. It's just that much nicer.
I think the hottest
from pretty stout loads, but they're more efficient with the lighter stuff.
Well, what's the 416? The 460 Ruger. No. The other Smith & Wesson cartridge in that big X frame.
It shoots 45 long Colt and Casull.
Okay, so it's an actual 45.
Okay. Yeah, it's a true.
I've shot one of those before.
I love that pistol.
Yeah,
it's like shooting a rifle.
They're a handful compared to the 500.
One of our customers, he said there was no problem shooting 250 yards with a pistol.
Yeah. This thing had a muzzle brake on it, like an M1 Abrams tank. So
wow.
One my cousin has that hopefully I'll end up talking him out of someday. It's ported barrel, and it's amazing. I just absolutely love that pistol.
Yeah, it's quite a thing. It's quite a thing, but it's a long cartridge, so it's in a revolver. It takes that X frame. It takes a really long cylinder to be able to shoot it. That's the nice thing about even the 500. Same thing, But that's a nice thing with the 454. It'll fit in a large frame revolver. It's only a little bit longer than the 45 Colt 44 Magnum. But it's a step up in power.
That Casull was probably one of the hardest kicking handguns I've ever fired. That includes the 416, but it didn't have a muzzle brake and all that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you got to remember, though, some of those loads are, like a 270. They're
oh yeah,
60,000 psi. They're
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to sneeze at. They're you're shooting little mini VW bugs.
Yeah, it's here I am.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're interested in 41 mag and you haven't shot a whole bunch of it, there's a couple channels that I follow where the guy shoots them a lot, and one is Plowboy's Ghost.
Yeah.
Plowboy shoots a lot of 41 mag. He does 45 Colt also, but he likes that 41 mag as well. And I've traded emails and conversations with him and stuff. He's a real fan, and he's got a good channel. It's Plowboy's Ghost. Not sure if there's an apostrophe S or not, but you can find him and look him up if you're interested. He does quite a bit with it. And like I said, I've only been doing it for a couple of years, and the only two firearms I have are my Smith & Wesson Model 57, which is a great firearm. That's a really nice one to have for 41 mag, but they're expensive. And I guess in anymore, the Blackhawks are right up there too. They're pretty darn close. But that Blackhawk that I have in 41 mag is a lot of fun to go shoot as well. And
Blackhawks aren't cheap at all.
Not anymore. They're not. I mean, they used
neither
to be kind of a
are
Chevrolet.
Yeah, neither are GP 100s for that matter.
Yeah, and GP 100, another reliable firearm. I'd like to have a GP 100 in 44 special with a 5.5 or 6 inch barrel. We can get them here in California with the short barrel, like that one that CW has. But I'd like to see one in a little bit longer barrel.
That's kind of weird. You can't get the long barrel, but you can get the assault barrel.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get them all here in North Carolina. You look, they haven't made a 44 special GP 100 in a couple of years, and they're just gone. The only place to find them is at a gun show.
Interesting.
So.
Yeah, well, and there aren't that many, period, in 44 special. Was it Charter's got some?
Charter is the right
they're all
now.
snubbies.
Charter is the only handgun maker that's making a 41 special. There is no other one. I looked the other day, knowing that we were going to talk about 40 and 41, but figured we would talk about 44 special. But I looked. I went to all my distributors, just searched by caliber. Charter Arms is it, and their quality's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I've sent back 2 Charter Arms for timing issues. So, one was skipping half a hole, and oh yeah, it was bad. So,
yeah, that's.
Yeah, they've had some problems.
Yeah, they have.
But
they're supposed to have their stuff in line now, and they got another new company and some different people in there, and they're right here local.
Well, it's a good looking pistol. I mean,
it looks good.
Yeah, they got that 9mm pit boss. It's doesn't take moon clip, so kind of a neat option for somebody. But I'd like
45
that
in my hand when I bought the 44 special. I was watching Plowboy Ghost, talking to him, and he had just picked one up, and I talked to my buddy. He said, I think there's one up there at such and such a shop that we like to go to. And I met him up there, and sure enough, they had one. And he had a 44 special as well, a Bulldog. And then he said, oh, you're looking at this, you'll like this. And he pulled out a 610, a 4-inch 610. And that was a nice gun. But I got a thing about semi-auto cartridges in revolvers. I can see an extra cylinder in a single action to shoot 9mm or something like that as an extra cylinder. No problem with that. But to chamber the gun specifically in an auto pistol cartridge in a revolver just is senseless to me. If I'm going to have that, I just have a 41.
Yeah.
Why do I have a 10mm revolver? I just assume have a 41.
I agree.
I'm there with you, like you are with 9mm and the 1911.
It just
10
doesn't
millimeter
need to
don't
be.
go on a
It
revolver.
just doesn't need to be. And then he pulled out the 44 Special Ruger GP100, and I said, just put these away. Just give me. I got to take it home. Just got to take it home. And I had no intention of buying a gun. I was there to look at that 45 and to meet up my buddy who was getting another gun that he had ordered in, and we both ended up taking guns home.
You guys always remember the 1911 was arguably a stroke of genius from John Browning, who had many strokes of genius. But the Browning high power in 9mm, he considered his finest handgun.
Yep.
And
Probably right.
the 2011s they are coming out with right now, they're all too expensive.
Made better when they put it in 40 caliber.
They whatever. But my God, what flat shooting, easy shooting pistols. A 9mm in a stagger stack 1911 is just so easy to shoot. They shoot beautiful. Shoot beautiful. It might be an aberration to some, but I'm like.
And you also have the Browning high power 9mm short.
Yeah, also known as the 380.
I was about to say, anybody want to guess what caliber that one is?
You're supposed to say Kurtz. Yeah,
Kurtz,
that's the German
9mm
word.
Kurtz.
Yeah,
9mm Kurtz, depending on your lingo du jour.
No, I've actually grown quite fond of 380 now. I no longer throw them in the corner.
well, if you carry a 380, I always tell people they're like, you think that's enough? I said it's better than harsh language. If you start popping at me with that thing, I'm going the other way.
It's better than silicone.
Right. What are you going to do? Sling holy water on them? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I've got 2 380s and they're both Colt governments.
Yeah. Cool.
I never got into the dinky little no sight 380 thing.
I've got 3 and 380, and they're all in the little dinky groups.
Yeah. I bought one for my daughter for a Christmas present. And then I've had one this blued, and I enjoy
the Emperor
the pistols.
is in the house.
Oh no. I forgot to lay out the welcome
It's been
mat.
a long time.
Man. Hey, Emperor.
Wow.
Goodness sakes alive. Hadn't heard we're seeing
Look at there.
hair him. And
I feel so bad. I didn't lay out
Those
the
stars.
welcome
Those
mat.
stars were good guns.
Yeah, they were. They were.
I'd shoot my 380 EZ all the time.
That's actually a pretty good one. My lady friend Catherine has one, and they're easy to rack, and that's why she got it. They're again the rules here in California
Andy.
now. Good night, Andy. But my 3 and 380, I've got a Ruger, and I've got the Bursa, and I have a Sig, all at 380. They're all fun to shoot. They're belly gun pocket pistols, but they're fun to shoot and see if you can hit the broadside of a barn at 3 feet.
The Colt governments are big enough you can actually shoot them.
Yeah.
They're
they're
not
longer
they're,
slide.
they're not. Yeah, they're not the Mustangs. So I don't have dangly fingers. Shooting.
My wife's got a LCP Max, and that is a fun little 380.
I like
It
mine.
really is. Yeah, that one just came alive here in California, and I grabbed one before they changed their mind. I've only shot maybe 100 rounds to it. I haven't had it that long. But
I'm walking around with and y'all are going to laugh, a little Kel-Tec 380 in my pocket,
Mhm.
I'm not
Oh,
laughing.
but I
The
got it.
Ruger's a copy.
I
Yeah.
got
Yep.
it.
Yeah, I walk around with the North American 22 mag every day. Now,
They won since
most
1993.
yeah, most times I got a Sig 365 on my belt, but that North American's a little sneak gun. You know, it's like, oh, sure, you can have everything in the cash register. Hello, you know. I don't want to get shot by nothing. Nothing.
Been
Not
there,
even-
done that. Don't want to do
not-
it again.
Yeah, not even a 32.
I think I remember that Pico. I think I remember your videos on that.
Yeah. 380, it's another one, you know, cheap to cast for, 90 grain bullet. I mean, you can put a little bigger one in that.
I
But
love that little 95 grain Lee. That little
Yes.
wide. That's a nice
Yeah.
bullet.
yeah,
All right,
so
so
like a
this
little
is
TC.
this is the problem with 32s though. You get the old redneck, and then CW works up north. He probably gets the old Yankee that comes in there. You got any 32s? Which 32?
Yeah, is it 32 Colt or
32 long,
auto?
32 ACP, 32. Like, Christ
Mr. Wesson?
Almighty! And their eyes cross. You know, I mean, I think that's 32 Smith right there. Little short guy. It's not a long, but
So it's a 32 auto. Let me tell you, you don't want to fire 32 auto in a Colt 32 long Colt chambered revolver. You turn it into a flamethrower
yeah.
out the side. My dad did that. He said, I bought this ammo for this pistol. I'm like, why'd you buy ammo for my pistol? And he loaded it up and started shooting. I was like, stop! Good God! You're gonna
Yeah,
blow your
it's-
fingers off.
It's because 32 ACP is a semi. What do they call it? Semi rimmed.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
ain't that
rebated.
good.
Yeah, but it's so short. A lot of the gas is coming out between the force and cone of the cylinder.
Yes.
I can shoot it in my
blow your
327.
fingers
It's
clean
actually
off.
really good.
Do what? CW?
I shoot my 327. They shoot really good.
I hear you.
Yeah, there's some good 380s. I've got one that the rest of you guys don't have, I bet.
What?
Because I got one that was kind of custom made from a guy that I know who's here on the panel.
Bond. James Bond.
Yeah. Texas 6 sent me a mold one time that's does a pretty good job in 380. And as I recall, you had trouble getting yours to shoot. Mine shot really good from the get-go.
That EZ does. I haven't found a load that it likes yet.
Man, he sent me so for those of you who don't know, and most of you probably do, that Ricky over here, Texas 6, also known as the 6-shooter Texan, is also a custom mold maker. I mean, he makes a number of his own molds, and every once in a while he'll send one or two out. And he sent one to me one time for the 380. He says, "Here, Walter, here's this mold. Cast a few and see if you can make it shoot." And I cast a few, and I made them shoot. They shot really good out of my little Sig P38. That 238.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little one that can hide even in my small hand, and it shot great. And he said, I can't get him to shoot, and so we traded info back and forth a few times on art, cartridge length and that kind of stuff. And he said, I can't get him to shoot. I said, man, they shoot great for me. I'm not giving you this mold back.
Nanner,
Ozzy, your sea camp was actually made in the town I went to high school in, Milford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
My neighbor used to work. My neighbor's wife was related to the people who owned the company, related to the sea camp, and her husband. They used to work in the factory, and I actually shot prototypes of that gun before it was put out. The first ones, of course, if you remember, they only shot the silver tip ammo. because it was the shortest 32 on the market. It wouldn't shoot the ball because it was too long. It wouldn't shoot it reliably because it was too long. I really like those guns. They had no sights. They were just a basic little well-made stainless steel
Belly gun.
gun. They
Pull the trigger. It's going to go off and do enough damage to get you out of the fight.
And North American Arms made a copy, and they made it in 380 and 32, and their own NAA 32, which was a 380 case neck down to 32. Their own caliber. Just a slight bit bigger and not as well made. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That was made. The original factory's gone. But yeah, made in the town I went to high school in. Pretty cool.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get another ice pack for my knee.
Uh-oh. I'm singing my song. Yeah. Well, let's go back to the 41 and or 40. So there are not a whole lot of choices, at least here in California, for 41 Magnum firearms. You want a double action, it's going to be the Smith Model 57, which is a great firearm. They're just expensive. And as far as single actions are, in California, we have this roster, right, of approved firearms for sale. You can buy pretty much anything secondhand and do a person-to-person
What a
sale
small
or
world,
trade.
Mr. Petty.
But yeah,
Aerial Lift is a company that went out of business. My brother-in-law was the service manager, opened a company, who I worked for a bunch of years, servicing those lift trucks.
yeah.
What a small world.
Yeah. But anyway, I like that Smith & Wesson Model 57. That's a fun one to shoot, and the Ruger Blackhawk. That's kind of our choices. Cimarron and those guys, there's the Italian imports. I think there's a couple that they offer in 41 mag. I haven't really looked, but so we don't have a lot of choices. But I got the Blackhawk first, and then the Model 57 Smith & Wesson came up shortly after that, and I was still recovering from paying for the Blackhawk. And I go, oh, man. I said, how long do you think you'll have this one at the local gun shop? He said, yeah, probably till tomorrow. I said, okay, wrap it up. I'll sell something. But, yeah, I like shooting 41 Magnum. For many years after I started developing the arthritis, I laid off shooting Magnum anything, just because it was, just hurting too much. I shoot a couple wheels full and I couldn't shoot anything else that day. And then it kind of relapsed a little bit. And then I started shooting more of them, 357 and 41. And I haven't shot probably more than 20 rounds of 44 Magnum in the last 2 years, but I plan on doing so. But that 41 Magnum actually suits me pretty well at my stage of the game with my arthritic hands and so forth. It's enough of a Magnum round to get me, feeling good with some recoil up in my hands for a change. 357 is, I guess you could load them hotter than I load them, but the 41 mags, I think the hottest one that I've ever shot was a 220 grain. It went out at about 1,500 feet per second, and that was pretty stout. That was enough for me to shoot a couple wheels full of those.
Those blue dot loads you loaded were pretty spicy.
Yeah, they were up there. They weren't damaging the gun, but they were.
No.
I had them loaded up there pretty close, and that's kind of a story that I want to sweep under the rug because I had not read I didn't get the memo. Let's put it that way, or I hadn't paid attention to it when it came out. When they came out and said, "Hey, don't put blue dot in your 41 mags." Well, I loaded some, and I loaded them reasonably well.
It's not that it's dangerous or it's anything really bad. The deal is just like some other powders, like 800X.
High pressure,
Blue dot can be that way in other cartridges. 800X is really one that's actually I find worse than blue dot in some cartridges.
Yeah,
you
got to pay attention to
later
that
loads
stuff.
are fine. It's just that when you go just a tiny bit more,
all of a
you're way
sudden,
over pressure. So
Yeah.
that's the reason that they don't like it. If you're loading moderate loads and you're not being crazy, it's fine. It's just if you're trying to get the ultimate performance, you can go from a really, really good load to an almost dangerous load.
Yeah, and there's other powders that you can get there with. You don't have to use those.
They won't do that.
Nasty ones.
Yep. Yeah.
It's never a mistake, Walter, when you don't know who to start out with. So.
Well, yeah, it could end up being a mistake. Anyway, yeah, it was safe. You know, my pressure signs were all good and stuff, but it was a hot load, and it was enough to bring the revolver up over my head. You know, then I'm not putting this video out.
Yeah, there's some loads that can go from spring load to ignorant.
Yeah, I was thankful I was shooting them out of the Ruger instead of the Smith. I'll say that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were up there, but still, you know, I'll say it was manageable even for me. You know, the septuagenarian in the crew. You know, I didn't back away from it. I shot him.
Wow, what large words!
Well, you know, hey, you learn a few.
You
learn some 5-letter words. You live long enough, right? And so,
he was just playing the championship Scrabble game. He learned that one yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but there's a lot you can do with the 41 caliber, and you know, I don't think that I've ever seen anyone at any of the ranges that I've shot at beside me that has shot a 41 mag. You know, I get guys coming over and want to know what it is because it's a big boom, and even, you know, my target load is the Lee 195 bullet with 9 grains of unique. It's about a 1,200 foot per second load, so it's not real hot. But man, that bullet shoots lights stinking out. Even for me, just last week I put 5 into that out there at 10 yards, and that's, you guys seen my channel. You know how I shoot. That's how that one shoots. It shoots that way all day out of both guns. And guys go, "What are you shooting over?" Because it's still bucking a little bit. You know, what is that? Is that 44 Magnum? This is 41. 41 what? What is that? And so it's an uncommon round to a lot of people. Yeah,
but it's pretty new. You know, it's 1964. And it was made at a time when we really had our, pardon my French, shit together with building guns, and they're just better because we were better making firearms. So it doesn't have all that lineage of fouling things up and wrong diameters and I like my throats this way. I like my chambers this way. I like There was none of that because we had it standardized. We knew what it took to make a good cartridge, and kind of like why the Creed is what the Creed is. We knew how to make stuff better. Oh, that's why it excelled, because it was made at a time when we have a handle on we know how to make them wrong. We know how to make them right. We make them right. So that the 41 is one of those calibers that it just, my most accurate handgun I shot was a 57.
It didn't really evolve from a sub-caliber version. You know, it was from the ground up caliber kind of. You know, so there's no, you know, originally at least there was no special, and there was, you know, nothing else.
Yeah, it was like, here it is, make something that'll shoot it.
Right. Here's a round. The ballistics look good. Let's make something that'll fire it.
To Lefty's 6-gun comment, Elmer Keith was a large reason we had our shit together. I mean,
good old Elmer.
He just, but you know, the 41, just like so many other calibers, rifle and pistol, hasn't got a lot of factory support either. And you got to look at the marketing aspect of this. Okay. Now, today, more than back then, but marketing is everything. The 6.5 Creed, yes, I agree with you, CW. It's a case that's optimally designed, blah, 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 blah. But the 260 Remington arguably is on an improved case and does probably even more speed. It wasn't, it just, Remington never supported it. They invented it and they never supported it. And the 41 mag, yeah, I know. remember Talinex Racer. He used to gripe about that all the time. That was Remington's claim to fame. They didn't support their own cartridges. And the 41 mag just never got the limelight that the 44 got. You know, if Dirty Harry would have used the 41, who knows? But there was a lot, and back in 1970, whatever, there was a lot of Model 29s traded in after they were bought, you know, because guys were used to shooting 32s and 45s. They'd never felt a Magnum before. And they shot it, and I'm not, I ain't enough man for this. So I'm taking it back.
And, you know, I have to say, for those of you over in the side chat that are casters, we got a lot of choices on molds for 41 caliber. I've got wad cutters in 41 and 41 special that are in the Wad Cutter Wednesday series. And there's, you know, Lyman's got molds, RCBS has got them, MP's got them, you know, NOE's got them. So lots and lots of choices for molds to go check out and play with, you know, in that range of 195 to all the way. Well, you can go quite a bit higher, but, you know, 225 or so. That's kind of the range that I see. But fun caliber and, you know, something different, not what your next door neighbor has, you know, so you can, you know, if you went out, for most guys, you go out and get yourself a 41 mag firearm right now, you're probably the only kid on the block that's got one. Automatically makes you cool, right?
I know we've got a couple 41 mag shooters at the shop. We had a little problem sourcing brass, but when they finally made a run of it, we jumped on it. You know, I can't remember if it was Starline or I think it was. And
yeah, probably Starline.
Yeah.
I think they're the only one making 41 special brass. I mean, you can make your own. You can cut down your 41 mags, but Starline does make 41 special brass.
Right.
I ran across a bunch of 41. I got a pretty good deal, 500 primed factory Remington brass. Good price for it. It's sitting on the shelf in there. I've been watching eBay and stuff for a 41 contender barrel.
Absolutely,
they come up,
man.
Yeah. As soon as pricey. They get on there, there's the price on it's gone up.
That's
yeah. I like mine. I'm pretty impressed with the ballistics of that 14-inch. It really jumps up. I had a Marlin and I stupidly sold it, but I had to sell when I sold it. But I really wish I hadn't had to sell it.
I'm just looking for a 10-incher, and as soon as they get on there, man, they go. Yeah. I think the last one went for nearly $500.
Yeah, well, that's all I wanted. We had the conversation. You know, that's all I wanted, but I couldn't find one either. And I got an offer on that 14, so I said, you know, I got a hacksaw. I'll just buy the 14 and chop it off if I really have to have a 10. But my other buddy talked me into leaving it, and I like it. It's really good. So we'll see what happens with it. But
yeah, great caliber, good sized bullet. Get yourself a mold with a nice big old flat CW style me plat.
Oh yeah,
hack that baby up, and it's going to shoot flat. And you know, good round.
CW, you're supposed to say, "I have a hacksaw and a crowning tool."
You turn anything into a full caliber.
Some new guy on the side chat's going to go, "Well, CW does it."
Yeah.
Well, one of my number one videos is how to recrown a barrel.
We can't say that on YouTube.
Right.
The 357 Maxim we talked about last week, Justin, and it's one of my favorites. It's a really good one.
It's one of my favorites.
Now that's a forcing cone eater right there, which we discussed last week.
Not in the contender.
Not in the contender.
Not in the contender.
That's why not many revolvers are made in that anymore. But
it's weird.
like Kyle was talking about the flame coming out with a 32 ACP out of a 32 Smith & Wesson.
Oh yeah, it's
the
crazy.
357 Max is. I got a buddy that's got a contender barrel in it, and he shoots it, and the fireball that comes out of that thing is holy crap. You know, I was like, man, good God.
Well, I can tell you this: my dad really learned really quick how to hold a revolver.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
He fired that thing one time, and I went, whoa.
They're loud too. If you notice if you have a 22 mag revolver or semi-auto, they're louder than they should be. 30 carbine and a pistol.
Yeah.
It's louder than it
Oh
should
my
be.
God, that's the loudest Black Hawk they ever made.
Same thing for Maximum, 327 Maximum and 327 Federal.
Oh,
All of
good
those
God.
long-faced
Yeah, that
magnums
327
are
is
loud.
loud. Even in my
They're loud.
Henry.
My
It's
buddy,
it's a different kind of sound. It's a
It's a
sharp, loud.
It's a high pitch crack. Yeah.
he handed me a 327 Federal Magnum. Well, that's the rounds that we had loaded, and he said, "Oh, you don't need Air Pro. It's nice. It's fine. It's a good shooter." He said, "My wife shoots it all the time," and me just not thinking, I'm like, "Okay," and I chambered that thing up, and I pulled the trigger one time. I looked at him, and I was like, "You son of a-" He goes,
30, 30 carbines the same way. The first time my cousin had a 30 carbine Black Hawk, and he shot that thing, and we were standing out there, no Ear Pro, nothing. I thought lightning had struck us. It was it was terrible. You know, and
I ain't
and
never
on the-
wanted to whoop somebody's butt so bad in my life.
and on the lower end, 22 mag bothers my ear out of a pistol. Anyway,
I'm deaf. And it hurt my ears. I was like, good God.
I
I'm
love
not-
trying to do a video catching a 22 mag bullet. They will surprise you. Shoot through
Yes.
some jugs of water or whatever. I mean, the first time I did it, like, it really surprised me. It had a lot more butt than
Oh
I
yeah,
thought it.
people don't realize, but a 22 Magnum has more power at 100 yards than a 22 long rifle does at the muzzle.
yes.
And who wouldn't hesitate to shoot nearly anything? Powder singeing distance with a 22 pistol. Almost anything. You'd shoot almost anything that you had to destroy or kill or with a 22 long rifle, touching it with the muzzle of the barrel. And a 22 mag has more power than that at 100 yards.
Hillbilly, I'm
It's
not
very underrated.
I'm not promoting this, but there's been a lot of deer in the South laid in the shade with a 3D cell mag light and a 22 mag. You know,
Well, I'm not
Why do you think
advocating the
that
mag
20
light, but I have laid the deer down with a 22 mag.
What do you think that 22 lever action Marlin 22 mag?
Yes, sir.
Rifle's been in the family so long. I mean,
Reach on it. Reach on it.
it's a meat getter. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a meat getter.
know-
I've got a Marlin. It's an 888. It's a bull barrel stainless steel gun, and it was the first gun I ever worked on as far as a project. I free floated the barrel, found the ammo it likes, and all this stuff, and worked on the trigger and about got it too light. But that thing has killed more groundhogs and feral felines than
Feral felines.
yeah, then Carter's got little brown pills. I mean, that thing is absolutely deadly. I love that gun, and it shoots. They don't make them anymore. I bought a brick of them, the Winchester Supreme, really high speed. I think 30 grain,
34.
34 grain. Yeah, loves them.
It's the same bullet supposedly the same bullet that they loaded in the 22 Hornet. I have a couple of boxes of them, They used to sell them in 400.
There you go. There you go.
They used to sell them in a plastic box. You had 4 boxes in there, 200 rounds.
Yeah.
Awesome performing and very accurate. For some reason, it really shot accurate in a lot of guns.
I wish they'd come out and make that again.
It's like a crimped nose. The hollow point is like it's crimped.
Yes.
It's very distinctive. You can tell it right away. There's a whole bunch of different hollow points that they make, and there's a couple of them in that Supreme line, but it's just the crimped nose is the good one. 34.
I was looking for the speed on this, and I don't think they publish it or don't have it on here, but
It's 21 or 22, 2150, something like that.
it's a hot 22 mag. Yeah. But shoot wonderful. Shoot wonderful. Now in my little North American, I like carrying the 50 grain Federals.
Mm-hmm.
There's the nose. I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
One of my favorites is the CCI segmented.
Oh yeah, those are nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't penetrate deep, but you get multiple wound channels.
For those of you that have never messed with a 22 mag, compare that to a 22 long rifle. I mean, that's a lot more powder. You know, it's scooting.
It's not a healed bullet. It's like a regular Magnum. It's a 224 bullet in a case, where the 22 long rifle is a healed bullet. So the case is the diameter of the bullet in a long rifle. It's not the case. That's not the case in a Magnum. A Magnum is bigger, just like a conventional cartridge.
And so let me ask you this, CW. The Kel-Tec PMR 30 round, 22 mag. I love that. I have that. It's lightweight.
Me too. Yep.
I love it on a chest holster, out riding the four-wheelers, whatever.
Great trigger.
Yeah, it has the trigger on that thing's as good as any bench rest rifle.
It sure is. Yep.
Yeah.
Better has a right to be for a plastic.
It says on in the instructions, manual that comes with the book, it says 40 grain, bullets. And people buy that and they shoot 36 or 38 and they're like, man, this thing ain't racking, it's jamming, blah, blah, blah. So just in case somebody comes along that, can you kind of explain it better than I can what the difference is, racking that slide with that 40 grain instead of a 36 or 38?
The slide on those is really small and light, but the slide velocity is accelerated substantially with those lighter weight bullets, and a 22 Magnum is a really tough one in any semi-auto. Almost all of them are blowbacks, and it's when you have a long skinny bullet, it's very hard to make reliably cycle. And a couple of companies did it differently, but PMR's got it working, and I've been able to finagle mine so I can shoot most things pretty good, but they do have problems with different weight bullets. So you're best with the 40s. Now there's some really good 40 grain bullets, so you're not taking a back seat, but it's all about that slide velocity.
If you remember, Ruger came out with a 1022 Magnum,
and it didn't last.
And it didn't last any time. Yeah. And then Savage, years later, came out with one that had a disconnector on it, so it slowed. It slowed the slide.
Yeah, I have one.
Down.
It's a nice shooting gun.
Yeah. I sold several. They shoot good.
My Marlin would not shoot light bullets at all. 922. I've had about everything in 22 Magnum.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. My Bruno will shoot them, but the Ruger, the Marlin 922 didn't like light bullets. It wouldn't shoot them.
Weird.
It wasn't that they weren't accurate. They wouldn't cycle.
Okay.
They wouldn't cycle.
Cool. Yeah, I've only got a couple in. I guess I have 3 in 22 mag. Recently, I bought a Ruger Wrangler in the convertible 22 LR, and it's a cheap gun, fun to shoot. They're okay, close range. I had Smith & Wesson 640, 646, 648,
48.
48,
48 was the
648.
blued gun. 648
Yeah.
is the stainless.
Yeah, it's the stainless 648. Yeah, and it looks good. I had to send that back to Smith & Wesson twice to get it to even function. You'd fire
Yeah.
one round and the cylinder would lock. It was terrible. I sent it in the first time, and they said, okay, there was this, that, or the other. We fixed it. They sent it back. I went to the gun shop and picked it up, and I said, let's take a look at this. Cocked the hammer, eased it back down, handed it back to the gun shop owner, said, rotate that cylinder for me now. However you want to try to pull the trigger, do whatever you want. Wouldn't rotate. And he said, what's the matter with this gun? I said, I don't know. We just got it back from Smith, sent it back again. And now it finally works. But it was terrible. Brand new gun from Smith & Wesson. This was just a couple years ago.
Yeah. One of my first 22 Magnums
go back
was a 651. I bought it in, I don't know what it was, 87, 88.
Yeah.
The 651 was the fixed sight J-frame.
Yeah.
And it was, I loved it. I loved it. First moment I saw it, I took it out and shot it. I couldn't get the bullets out of the cylinder.
Yeah.
Tapped them
Come
out
on, guys.
a couple
Really?
times, brought it back, sent it back, got it back. It was perfect. About 15 years later, I bought a 34 and a 17 full target. I was going to shoot, I was going to try my hand at revolver bullseye. So I bought that full target.
Mhm.
The exact same thing with both guns. One cylinder, couldn't get anything out. I left the cases in, fired cases, sent it back to Smith. The 17 came back perfect. The 34, exact same thing again. It had to go back.
Oh, man.
When it came
Yeah.
back, I just sold it. I didn't even keep it. I just sold it.
I wouldn't either after all of that.
Yeah.
I have the Ruger RPR in 22 mag. That thing is perfect. That thing shoots well. It handles pretty much any ammo I want to stick in it and does a really good job out at 100 yards. I have an RPR in 17. It's not quite as good as a shooter as far as that goes, but the 22 Magnum, it's an enjoyable round to go shoot. And there's a few choices that we have. It's just the ammo's expensive for a rimfire round, 40
is.
cents.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every time you
Yeah.
pull the
That's the
trigger,
reason I haven't shot mine. I got a single 6. I didn't ever shoot the mag load.
yeah, they're just pricey. When you think you can go load your 38 specials for 8-9 cents a round, counting the primer, I don't know about that 22 Magnum. I'd rather shoot your lever guns with 38 special.
I bought my Marlin bull barrel bolt action for hunting, and of course 22 Magnum's a little too much to shoot a squirrel with, but I would here in the South, there's a certain game animal that's a predator that's heavily regulated for no damn good reason other than guys like to dress up like old English dudes in red suits and get on horseback and chase them with hounds. And where I used to live had just a plethora of them. And I'm not saying the name. You can actually guess what kind of chicken getter I'm talking about. But I could hand call them. This was before we had coyotes here. I could hand call them. They were just idiots. They just fall for a hand call. And grays, reds, you name it. That 22 Magnum, good Lord have mercy. It was fantastic. It was the perfect size for that size animal.
Yeah. We had one
I
last year.
wanted a Bearcat in 22 Magnum in the worst way. And then they made it for a while. They called them the Super Bearcat.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back out for a short run. And a couple of the guys would take and rechamber just a couple cylinders in the Bearcats. So you'd have two 22 Magnum cylinders, and the rest of them would be long rifle cylinders. And
Mhm.
I never did it, but I always thought that would be a really nice size. That gun is a little bit small for my hands. I have a very early one. I think it's a 55 or a 54.
Yeah, they're pretty dinky.
It's a small gun.
Yeah, I picked them up before, and it's like, no, I just don't like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, just they're really nice, but they're just a little small. The single 6 is a nice size.
Tex, you'll appreciate this. My cousin was into cowboy action shooting. He's not so much anymore, but he had a Josie Wales rig made with a Bearcat and 2 Vaqueros and a single 6 belly gun. He had like 4 revolvers on him all the time, he spent a lot of money on that just for show, but it was a cool rig,
We actually have a category at our range called
Josie Wales.
Josie Wales. And
Yeah.
you use 4 pistols and a shotgun. You change your rifle out for 2 more pistols.
Right.
That name of that league should be called the Missouri Boat Ride.
That's right. This here pilgrim Mr. Carpetbagger is what we call a Missouri boat ride.
They staged the 2 pistols that's going to be like for rifles because nobody ever hardly has a 4 rig set up.
Right. I remember the first time I saw that movie, and he's walking up to the old Yankee, and the guy is getting ready to draw his sword, and he's cocking the pistols and clicking at him. I said, "My God Almighty, how many pistols does he have?"
You pull his little 49 and finish him off.
That's right.
Yeah. They shoot that in, like I said, our club, but it's like, yeah, but you're using vaqueros and stuff. You got to use cap and ball, man.
Yeah, you got to use Civil War.
To be a true one, you got to have a cap and ball, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get videos ahead of the game a couple months out so I can get back out and get some of my cap and ball stuff shot. I shot the ones that I have enough to kind of figure out, to learn what I need to learn. Let's put it that way. And I've kind of put them away, and I've got one in there. Still, I got a Walker that I bought, and I haven't shot it at all yet. It's still sitting in the grease. I need to get it cleaned up and go shoot. But I kind of like the cap and ball stuff. It's just different. It's not something you want to do every day. It's fun. You get to cast your own bullets, and you get to make your own lube, and you get to go shoot one and get a cap hung up in the works, and the cylinder won't turn anymore. It's crap. So it makes you think about what those boys back 200 years ago were dealing with.
Yeah.
When you see you think about those guys shooting those cap and ball rounds in 44 or 38 or 41, and whatever caliber. There are a lot of calibers that they shot too. 45, fun stuff. But man,
I'll tell you, a cap and ball I'd love to have. That's a Lamat.
Yeah, yeah.
9-shot, and then 20 gauge
and a shotgun.
underneath. Yeah. I'd love to have one. Yeah. But Walter, if you really want to practice with your Walker, wait till nobody's on the range and buy a bunch of cheap little shot glasses and do the Gus McCrae and throw the shot glass up in the air. Pull that big horse pistol and shoot it out of there.
Yeah. Load the cylinder with lead shot instead. Yeah. But
that's how I fooled my son for years. He'd go to elementary school and said, "My dad is the best shot on earth." And they were like, "No, my dad's better shoot it." And no one would look at him. He could shoot bees out of the air with a pistol. He just draws it from the hip and shoots them right out of there. He didn't know I was using rat shot.
Dust.
I got some 22 mag snake shot sitting in the safe. When And that stuff's 40 years old, probably. I don't know. It's been
It'll
in there
work.
a long time.
It'll go bang.
I got some stuff that my cousin loaded up, and he got pretty innovative. He couldn't find the spear capsules anymore, so he would load like a 38 or a 45 Colt, and what he would do was, powder, wad, shot, and then he'd take a gas check and flip it upside down and sit it in there and crimp, lightly crimp.
Mhm.
And it makes a wonderful rat shot load. But I'm going to tell you, a 38 out of a little snubby 38, I know this from experience. You shoot a copperhead snake with that, they don't wiggle anymore. They just die. They just go into pieces and just lay there. And I was like, you could chop this the snake's head off with an axe or a hoe, and he'd lay there and wiggle for an hour. You hit him with that bird shot, and that's it.
I got a video with a 327. I made up a snake load, and I even shot it and patterned it. I don't use a gas check on top. I use a gas check on the bottom. So I powder and I put a gas check in. No wadding. I fill up the case with number 11 shot. You were able to buy it years ago. Number 12 shot, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I seed a ball, and I crimp it.
Right.
So you're able to make an aimed shot. So you can shoot at the head or whatever.
Right.
And it fills in all around it with saturated shot at like 6 feet.
Yeah.
It's devastating.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Devastating.
I guarantee
And the whole thing weighs like 120 grains, so it's right about in what a heavy bullet will be in the 327. Mm-hmm. And you can buy the ball. You don't have to be a caster. You can buy the lead balls of the right diameter, right off the shelf from Hornady for black powder. I did the whole thing. It's a video on my channel, and they shoot really good. You could do the same thing in 38, 357, and 44.
Oh, yeah.
With the right size ball. And you have to hunt around for the shot. You could do it with any size shot, but the smaller, the better patterns.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He loaded some 45 Colt up with number 4s.
45 Colt you can make with 410, cut down 410 shells.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then you fill your cylinder. You get the full length. Because if you think about it, 45 Colt, the brass, is only 3/4 the length of your cylinder. So you got all that in the front where the bullet would be. Yeah. When you're making a shot load, it's wasted. It's wasted space.
Right.
You can cut off a 410 plastic hull. It'll fit right in your chamber. Load it up like a little mini 410 shell. You get a whole lot more shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fellow at the range told me about that, and I said, "I really, you can do that?"
Yep.
Because here in California, if you put a shotgun shell into a revolver, it's a short barrel shotgun, and you can't have it. And he said, "No, here's what you do. It says you got one right there. I see it."
Yeah, but he loaded it up with number 4s and number 5s.
Sure.
And he told me, he said, same thing, gas check on top. He said, don't think you're going to burn a stray dog's butt up with that. He said, it'll kill them. He said, if you don't intend to kill something, don't shoot at it with that. And I went out and patterned one, and you're right, CW. It was a little bit erratic. It wasn't as tight as smaller shot, but at 10 feet, it was nasty.
Get the job done. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was nasty. And I keep a snubby 38 in the truck, just full of 38 rat shot. And my wife said, "Why do you do that?" I was like, "Okay, let's say we're getting carjacked, and let's say I got my seatbelt on. I can't get my concealed carry. This thing's in the console. I pull it out and go bang, bang." I said, "Do you think that guy's going to stay there?" I said, it's like a swarm of hornets got after him, if not being dead. I mean, at that range, it'll
ruin your eyesight.
It'll ruin everything.
Well, give it a try with that ball. The ball keeps the shot in.
That's pretty cool.
You can aim and shoot it. So you have a projectile. It's not going to be good for very far away.
Right.
But you've got a projectile that you can, use your sights and aim at a spot.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Yeah. I like it.
All right, we gotta go through the room here. We're getting near the end of our
Already?
show. So would you like to start, Mike, and tell us what you got coming and how your week is gonna shake out? Or you hope it to shake out?
You betcha. Well, tomorrow night we got Guns Bearing Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. If you ain't doing nothing, swing by and see us. We'd love to have you. And we got videos coming out. I think I have another scope review coming out this week. And with all this talk here, I think I might get out that Keltec 22 mag again and do a video with it. It's such a fun pistol. But yeah, just always trying to get some videos out. I'm thankful it's warmer outside right now, and the white stuff's going away. So we'll get able to make some more videos outside. So thanks for having me. Always a fun time here.
Always welcome. Happy to see you. Good to see you. Good. Glad everybody's good. Say hello to your wife for us. And
I sure
have
will.
a good time. Have a good time. We'll be watching you tomorrow night. Generally, it's past my bedtime, so I catch you on Sunday morning. But
Yeah.
I try and get you and see it.
Yeah, I understand.
6, what do you got coming up?
Well, thanks for letting me be here again. If you noticed, I didn't put up a Wad Cutter Wednesday this past Wednesday.
I thought something was missing.
Yeah, I ran out of videos, and with the weather we've had and the big matches we had and stuff, I just hadn't had time to shoot. I've got 5 brand new tins of more pellets that I haven't never shot before. So I'm going to do that in the morning. It's supposed to be really nice tomorrow. No wind hardly or anything. So we're going to shoot. We'll at least shoot four videos tomorrow. I got 1 tin of pellets that's made here in the States, and I'm going to get another one before I shoot those. So we can do some made in America pellets.
That'll be
Nice.
good. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't very many of them anymore.
You done one with do you have a mold for a wad cutter?
As far as firearms,
No, for air gun.
no, I don't have any molds for that.
Because that would be pretty neat. That's something
Yeah.
you don't see
I
much.
know. I know a guy who can make a mold.
Yeah, it'd be a little tough, but I could probably get it made.
Might be fun.
Yeah, I know. He sells air gun
Used to.
pellet molds.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of a wad cutter with him. No, so
Might be neat.
yeah.
That's been a great series. If you guys haven't seen it, check into, Texas 6 channel on YouTube.
Yeah,
And he's got a
Wednesday
playlist going. You can go to his channel and hit the playlist, and then
Yeah.
Wad Cutter Wednesday will come up.
So
Rebel, what do you got coming?
Work. Of course,
That's a
after
4-letter
tomorrow-
word, feller.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. After tomorrow, after 2 o'clock, I got a couple of days off, and then playing around, loading some different things up. My business partner has bought up a lot of really nice rifles, and then gotten dies and acquired stuff, and then he's like, "I've got a lot of work to do." I said, "Yeah, you overbought." So he instead of buying one rifle and then working up a load for it, he's bought like 5.
Guilty.
And-
Guilty.
yeah. So now he's got to work up this load for it and all these loads for it. And then I was like, well, you got some really nice stuff. I like having bench rest shooters and long range shooters and competition shooters around my shop because you get their hand-me-downs, and their hand-me-downs are really nice stuff. So it's like one guy, he finished 3rd in the nationals in bench rest last year, and he's a regular customer. He said, "Sell this on consignment for me." He brought in a lab radar, and we're selling it for like $250. They go for like $600, but he bought the new little Garmin unit,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lab Radar actually gives you more information than the Garmin.
Yeah.
But, just because it's smaller, he bought it. So I like hand-me-downs. And Trent bought one of his Savage custom barreled, let's see, it's left load, right eject, dual port, Savage 6 PPC. And I got a feeling he's going to outshoot me with that thing, because it's got a 3-inch wide forearm, and mine's a beautiful stock, but it's more of a regular hunting stock. So we'll see. Trent still says his gun handling sucks. When I say gun handling, I mean on the bench, breathing, trigger control. Yeah. And he's learning, but anyway, that's Monday. I told him I was going to drive up there and heckle him, just sit back and blow one of those protester whistles and drink beer and yell at him and fart real loud. He knows better than that. But we actually get a full 5-day week next week, and hopefully we do good at the store. I've got a lot of people wanting stuff. They're just not bringing me the money to buy the stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm not Bass Pro Shop, man. I just can't order you whatever and wait for you to show up for it. Checkbook, tiny. Bring me the money. I'll order it. It'll get here on time. So, a lot of prospects out there, and I got a customer that ordered one of those new Spandau Turkish rifles. They only come in 308 right now. It's a Remington clone. I'll kind of give y'all a sort of impressionistic review when I take it out of the box. And
I got to look at 2 of them about a week ago. Not awful.
Pretty good looking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
All right. Got to cut you off. We're getting
We'll
short
see.
here. Kyle.
All right. Kyle, go.
Go. What I'm doing is got my time off approved for Dead Zero coming up in April, and I'm taking a snow shovel to the reloading room and finding a press. That way I can start loading up some 308 rounds, some Argentine rounds, 44 mags, 380s, and we're going to have some fun. That's about all I got.
All righty. Walter.
Okay. Yeah, same song, second verse for Casa de Viejo. We got Saturday shots tomorrow. Moldy Monday is a 41 mag round. The NOE 412 238 wide flat nose, Brian. Big old
Meat plats.
Yeah, it's a meat plat round. That's coming up on Moldy Monday on my Rumble channel, and we got Wad Cutter Wednesday. I haven't decided which one I'm going to put up. We still got 12 more. We're at episode 37 or 38 or something on Wad Cutter Wednesday. I've still got another dozen wad cutters to show you guys. And as soon as I think I'm done, I'll find another mold. Probably.
Oh yeah, there'll be at least one more in there before you're over.
Oh yeah. I've got one I got to get shot for the grand finale, which will be the original wad cutter from Hensley and Gibbs. But anyway, or the Himmelwright wad cutter, for those of you guys who know what that one is. Anyhow, so that's coming up. We got Free the Few Friday next week and Saturday shots again, et cetera, et cetera. So all that good stuff. That's what's happening here. And where are we at? Are we done? Are you on, Brian?
That's me. I've got a couple videos coming this week. I've got one coming on the 1022. I found a neat addition to that super lightweight stock. Something that is going to be, I think everybody's going to like. And then I've got another 6.5 JDJ video. And I may have a surprise. I may something in between there. You'll see what you find out. And that's about it. I want to thank everybody in the side chat. You guys make our show. Really appreciate it. Saw a couple of new faces. Really, really good to see that. And thank you everybody on the channel, on the board here. We couldn't do it without you. Prayers to Jamie for what he's got going on. He'll be back with us next week. And I just want to say good night to everybody. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for being here. God bless everybody. Everybody say good night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for playing along.
Good night. Prayers.
Good night, gentle people.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Y'all come back.
You hear?